Hello friends, my name is Srinivas and I welcome you to my channel Coding Skills. As part of this video, we will learn how we can delete an existing record using simple Hibernate program. So I have already made a separate videos on how we can save a record and how we can update a record. In case if you miss those videos, please go and check. So as part of this video, we will focus mainly on the deletion. So in this video, as informed earlier, I'm not starting from the scratch. So I'll be using the existing workspace. So you might see the configuration files and everything. I'll be using the same thing, but I'll just go through them for your reference in case if you come to this video directly. So form.xml, basically this has the dependency specific to the database what I'm using. In my case, I'm using Postgres database and as a Hibernate core and as well as the Hibernate utility class. This class is going to get the session factory object, and this is a utility class method which can be used across our project. And there is a student Java class which is an entity class which is tied to the student table, which has all the fields ID, name, age, and which has all the constructors and setter getters and everything. Hibernate configuration file is this has a specific information related to your database. What is the username? What is the URL, password, and everything. What is the driver and everything, along with the connection port settings and all of the basic settings. And this setting is really important, like whenever you start working on any specific entity. Right now we have coded only the student entity, so hence you will save an entry. In future, if you start enhancing this project with multiple entities, we need to add all those things in the configuration file. And the last one is the app.java. This is a kind of a launcher class where you'll be running your program. So within this program, we are using a scanner object to read some data from the keyboard, and session and transaction, these are from the Hibernate package which we will be using, and this is the entity that we have coded to perform the actual operation. So I have already, like as I mentioned, I'm using the same program, right? Hence I have student object, save student and update student also. I have coded in the same app.java class, so I just commented for them for reference. So I'm using a delete student method. So delete student, what exactly it does? So I created a scanner to read the student number. So basically printing a message, please enter student, and we are adding a student ID sc.nextInt, and we are capturing into student ID variable. If student ID is less than or equal to 0, that means it is not a valid ID, right? We are printing a informative message to the user. Suppose if it is a valid ID, then we are starting with a declared a transaction object with a value initialized with a null value. And this we are trying to get a session object. So in Hibernate util, we have a get session factory method. On top of this get session factory, we have a open session method. So once you call this particular statement, you'll be getting a session out of it. Here I am using a try with resources approach, which is a convenient, but this is not mandatory. We can also code the other way. You can directly move this complete getting of the session object into here. So then we are trying to get the session object, session.get and the student.class and the respective ID variable, whatever we have read from the input stream. This is going to get the student record from the database, and this is going to capture into student object variable. If the student object is not equal to null, means we got student object, right? So hence we are printing a existing student information. Existing student name is whatever the name we are printing. I'm only printing name, so you can also print the other field values based on our requirement. Hence we are starting a transaction, session.begin transaction, because we are trying to perform the actual operation, right? Session.remove the student object. So what exactly this is? This is going to delete a record at the end. So transaction.commit. So we have begin a transaction, we have performed the actual operation, and we are committing the transaction. Suppose if the student object is null, so what exactly? Then it will end up with the else block. Here we are printing student could not find with a given ID. So as part of executing any of this operation, if there is any exception, so this will capture into this catch block, and we are checking if the transaction is not null, and we're simply rolling back the transaction just to make sure that we are not impacting anything in the database. So we are also printing a stack test to see what exactly the cause. Okay, so let's see how we can run this program to see the results. First, I'll show you the native scenario as usual. So please enter valid student because this is the native value I have captured, right, which doesn't have a value at all. So before running it again, so I'll show you the data which is there in the database. I have already saved a couple of records because we need to delete a multiple records, right? So you see that there are 7 records existing in my database. Let's try with fourth one. I'm going to give 4. So it has issued a select query to get the student object. Once you got the object, it has printed that what is the name, and it has issued a delete statement. Delete from student where id equal to. Let's go back to the database and see what exactly it has done. See, we don't see the record number 4, right? It got deleted as expected. Let's try it again. A different record. So this time it's going to delete a student record 2 whose name is Srinivas. Let's go and refresh. So we will not be having the record number 2 at all. Let's try to perform the same thing again. Let's try to delete this record 2 again. We should get a right because we don't have the student ID 2. So you try to get the student object, it could not find, and it has printed a student could not find with the given ID. So this is executing this particular else block. So if we refresh it, the student ID 2 is not there, and we got the error as expected. So session.remove is the actual operation to delete your respective record. Please like the video and share it with your friends. In case if you are looking for any specific program, please do let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Bye.